Welcome back to another episode, guys. Today we're out here again trying to figure these fish out. Lord have mercy, I'm gonna fall in. It has been a tough morning so far. Me and Bethany, hi Bethany. Me and Bethany got here this morning and it was pouring the rain, zero wind, threw the jerkbait a whole ton and just couldn't get them figured out. But now the rain has passed by. We're kind of post front and there is a ton of wind. You guys can probably hear it. You can probably see it in my beard. The wind is absolutely ripping and I can't get these fish to hit a jerkbait. I mean, it was crazy. All they wanted was a jerkbait yesterday, but today something's happened. I'm not really sure what it is. I can kind of see that the water's probably dropped about 1.5 feet. There's a few things exposed that weren't exposed yesterday, but you know, it could have been the full moon that we had last night. It could have been that rain this morning. It could have been the water dropping, but these fish have definitely transitioned somewhere else. I mean, we are right smack in the middle of pre-spawn, almost spawning. We're in that like week, that little window, a few day window right there, right before they move up on the beds. And during that time, those fish transition very, very quickly. I mean, they can literally go from being on those big rocks and being down in the crevices of those rocks to moved right back on kind of this flat stuff that you see behind me here. So I don't know, we're gonna piece it together today. We're gonna try to figure it out. Tough morning so far though, but hopefully this afternoon will be a little bit better and hopefully you guys will enjoy today's episode. There he is. God dang, that fish annihilated that thing. That's because it's a damn good one. Woo! You don't do that. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. No, 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 no. Come here, come here. Come here, the boat. Oh, I just broke him off. My God, you think he wanted that freaking crankbait? Golly. Woo! Lord have mercy. Did that fish eat that thing? Golly, dang on wind's blowing. Look at that, guys. Oh, Lordy. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Let's get you back in here. Let's get you a little bit of water. Yeah, you're pissed. Yeah, you're pissed. Alright, guys. He's bleeding, so we're going to get him back in there real quick. Let him go. Go. That's awesome. That's awesome. There he is. I saw him fish eat. That's awesome. Heck yeah. Yeah, I would tell you to like calm down a little bit.
Yeah, like what are you putting on there?
There we go. Look at there, smallmouth.
Is it?
Yep. I barely got him hooked too.
There you go.
Lord,
What are you doing your head like that, boy?
trying to catch up with him. Ow. Look at him peeing. He's on a bed.
Don't put him on me.
Oh, you can hand me the pliers, please. There we go. Little fish. There we go. Dog, babe, get the net. Get the net, get the net, get the net, get the net, get the net. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Where are we here?
Come on up. Don't do that, don't do that. God. Right here. Oh God. Put him in the net, put him in the net.
There you go.
Oh, Lord. Hey, good job, girl. That's a hell of a net job. Look at him.
I can net a fish, I just can't catch it.
I mean, daggone, wanted it. Wow. Water going to you here. Daggum. It's a chunker. Let's see how much she weighs. All right, zeros. Stop. Huh, 3.6. Let's go one more here. .36. Just doesn't got the length is what it is. It's just not a super long fish, but God, it's got a belly on it.
Yeah.
Yep, she's getting ready to make her some babies. That's what we like to see. I like them built like that. Ones that are gonna be mamas. So, all right, sweetheart, let's get you back in the water and go make some babies for me. Go make some babies. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, go make some babies. That's awesome. Hey, good job. Well, here we are back in the garage, guys. I have not done a video like this in a while where I'll just go out fishing and then come back and kind of talk about what I was throwing it on, kind of talk about the areas I was focused on. I usually do it on the water. The reason I didn't do it on the water today is because the wind was absolutely howling. You probably heard it all throughout the video. It was just really getting it today. And so I was more worried about keeping the boat in the right position and not as much focused on talking to the camera. And I really wanted to take the time after the trip to talk to you guys about kind of what I did to get those fish to bite and how I made a transition because the fish are transitioning. And I think it's something kind of really important to talk to you guys about because it's one of those deals that, you know, a lot of anglers will get caught up on throwing one thing because it's what was working and not actively transitioning with the fish and picking up something else to figure out what they're wanting to bite. But we'll get into that here in just a second. But this morning, well, this afternoon, it was an afternoon trip. It's sort of the afternoon, morning, about 11 o'clock. We got to the lake about 11 o'clock, 11, 12 o'clock, and just could not get a bite. I don't know what the deal was. For 3 days, I've been catching them on this bait right here. This is a KVD 3-hook jerk bait in Tennessee chrome shad or chrome Tennessee shad, pretty much any chrome color they were wanting to eat. And for 3 days, this is all they wanted to eat. They literally would not eat any other bait. I tried throwing a jig, I tried cranking a crankbait, throwing a chatterbait, dragging a Texas rig around, and those fish literally didn't want to eat anything but this. And it was really a kind of strange bite. The wind wasn't blowing a whole ton, but when the wind would blow, those fish would be more apt to eat that bait. And so I locked that bait in my hand for a good 2.5, almost 3 hours, and just went through all my juice throwing that jerk bait and got 0 bites. And it was just one of those deals that at the end of that time, I was thinking, you know, something's happened here. There's been a transition, or these fish have changed. They've done something different in this 24-hour period that I've not been on this lake. And what was crazy is I started to realize that those fish, you know, for the past 2 days have been getting ready to move up to spawn. They are staging in those areas next to those flats, next to those small cuts in the bank, those small pockets and things, those big areas where they can move out, they can make beds, and they can have babies. And if in thinking back over the past couple days, you know, they started kind of main lake, and then they transitioned back just a little bit further the next day. And then today they were moved back, like back onto those flats, back onto those more gravel and sandy banks, those clay banks, those areas where they can make beds. Those fish were literally actively transitioning. Now, you'll hear people say that a ton. You know, pros and people talking on the internet, they'll say, you know, these fish are in transition. Well, these fish literally hadn't moved that far. Like, it's not like they, you know, just packed up and moved 55 yards down the bank. They literally had made a 20-foot move. They had moved from a rock that was out on the main lake with a big crevice in it that they were hanging out on, eating, getting ready to spawn. They had moved off that rock and moved 20 foot up onto a flatter area with more gravel rock, with more sand bottom, with that finer bottom composition so that they could start to make a bed. And so I kind of started to run through my mind, like, what do I need to do? And I knew the one bait that I could pick up cover a ton of water and get some reaction bites out of it was a 1.5, KVD 1.5 square bill. And this bait is going to be able to fish that shallower, more flat area a lot more effectively, and you're going to be able to cover a lot more water in those kinds of areas a lot more effectively. So I picked this up, and literally within the first couple casts, I caught one almost 2.5 pounds. And then I just restarted on all the stuff that I've been catching them on with the jerk bait earlier, and I went back through it to see if kind of the theory held up that these fish had moved. And when I went back through that area, I realized, yeah, they had moved. When I would start to transition away from that more main lake stuff and start to transition into those more flat areas, when that water would jump up from being 10 and 12 feet to being 8, 6, and 5 feet, that's when I would start to get more bites. And literally, guys, it was so cool to literally see in a 24-hour span, and with a full moon, and with the water temperatures hitting the right degree point and everything working in their favor, that those fish had actively went from one spot to another to get ready to make beds. And that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the fact that we as anglers sometimes will get locked in. I caught fish on this for 2 days straight, absolutely hammered fish. Caught a lot of big fish. Dad caught one almost 5 pounds. I caught a lot of quality fish. And so this is what I wanted to lock in my hand and get a bite on. But little did I know that that full moon, these warmer days, that warm night that we had last night, that big full moon with no cloud cover in sight, made those fish move up shallower, made them get into those flatter areas, and made them get ready to start making beds. And I had to make that transition with them and that bait change to get the bites that I did. Now, I was throwing KVD 1.5, like I said, in brown craw. Really awesome color. It's one of my favorite colors that they make now. I mean, it is just awesome. It does a really good, it's kind of a natural color, but it does good in clear water as well as dirty water. And I was throwing that on my 7-foot Hack Attack Lew's rod. This is a 7-foot medium moderate action. It's a glass cranking rod specifically made for cranking. Lew's LFS, 6:8 to 1 gear ratio, some 10-pound Strike King fluorocarbon, and that was the bait that got all the work done for me. And the reason I picked that bait again is just because I was able to cover those flatter areas, those more shallow areas, a lot quicker, a lot more effectively, and get those bites from those fish that had decided to transition up and start doing their thing. I think within probably the next 48 hours, there'll probably be a new wave of fish that move up to where they'll start eating the jerkbait again, and then there'll be a wave of fish that move again where you could probably catch them on the 1.5. And that's honestly, guys, how you create a pattern. You know, you start to put together that thought process of there must be fish moving up, there must be fish moving back, and you know, a lot of the times you'll find that whether you're in a tournament situation or just a fun fishing situation, when you can find fish actively coming to you and you know where they're going, is when you can have a really, really good day and put a lot of fish into the boat. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. I am so jacked to have off the time that I have off. I know this whole COVID-19 thing is crazy, but I am very, very blessed and very, very fortunate to be able to have an awesome job where I've got time off and I can go out and go fishing and make fishing videos. Met a couple of you guys at the boat ramp today. That was absolutely awesome. I want to thank you guys for watching my videos. I want to thank all you guys for watching my videos. But I know during this time it's crazy. Some of you guys still have ice on the water, that some of you guys are just now getting on the water. But please share this video with somebody that you think would like it. Let's grow this community. I think right now is a great time to really grow the Alex River fishing community, because everybody's kind of hanging out, watching fishing, we're going fishing, we're just enjoying all kinds of stuff. But I think it's just a great time to grow as a community. But thank you guys for watching. You know where to go. Go down in the description. I'll have all this linked so you guys can check it out. Also go down in the comment section, leave me a comment. It helps to get this video pushed up where more people see it. Hit that like button. That also helps me. But as always, you guys are sweet. Thanks for watching.